Okay, continuing on with our study guide here, number 23. This whole section here is dealing with our area model. So we're going to go ahead and practice some of these. So 23A, this is a pretty simple one. Remember, we're just going to multiply across what meets in that box. So 3 times y is 3y. And the other box, 3 times positive 5 is 15. And then I just write my final answer as those things all added together, keeping in mind what the what the sign is here, right? That'd be plus 15. All right, so 23b, top left box, we're gonna have 2x times x is 2x squared. Top right box is x times 3, so 3x. Bottom left box, 5 times 2x is 10x. And the bottom right box, 5 times 3 is 15. So a lot of times I'll be able to combine these two right here. And actually I can in this one, right? 10x and 3x I can combine to 13. So I'm going to have 2x squared plus 13x plus 15. Okay, part C actually is already completed for me, but it's important I recognize again, those two things are going to be able to go together. So 2x squared plus 6 and 5x's makes 11x plus 15. All right, 23D. I thought about this one a little bit before starting, and this is kind of the way that our book has you do it with the algebra tiles and breaking it down really, the kind of most basic way of, elements here. But if I think about what I have here, right, I have, remember, all this stuff on the side means I'm adding it together. So this side right here, I have x plus 1. So this is 2x plus 1. And over here, I have x plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Right, that's x plus 3. And I think what might be easier is just to recognize that this side right here is 2 x's and a 1, and this side on the bottom is an x plus 3, and do it the way we've been practicing. We haven't been doing it this way very much, so I can do it this way also and fill in each individual piece and add them all together, but I'll get the same answer as if I do it the other way. So I think, I won't do it right now because we've got enough practice with that way, but I'll end up with 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. And that would be the same thing here if I broke it down all the way. So I'll leave it up to you. If you don't feel comfortable with that way, I would really recommend doing it the way we practiced. 23E. Okay, so here it's asking me to multiply these binomials, but it doesn't give me the box, so I'm surprised how many people say they don't know what to do, and then as soon as I say draw the box, they know exactly what to do. So remind yourself what this should look like, right? So I'm going to have 3x plus 2 and 2x plus 7. And when I kind of fill this thing in here, I'll have 6x squared, 21x, 4x, and 14, and they're all positives because I have two plus signs in there. So 6x squared plus these two together plus 14. All right, so 23F. This one's actually exactly the same, but if you look here, our second quantity has 3 terms in it. So that just means that let's make it myself a little bit more room. So let's go like this. All right, that really just means that I'm going to have 3 columns. All right, so I'm going to have x minus 3, and then I have x plus 3y minus 5. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in now. I have an x squared here. 3y times x would be 3. We really want the variables to be alphabetical. So we have 3 times x times y, so we'll put them this way. negative 5x. Oh, my pen's acting up a little bit here. Bottom left box, negative 3 times x. Pretty easy. Bottom middle, 3y times negative 3. So negative times a positive is a negative 9y. And the bottom right box, 3 times negative is a positive. 3 times 5 is 15. I don't know what happened to this one. Okay, so, oops, now they both disappeared. What happened there? Let's see if I can put it back. All right, so now our final answer, I would have an x squared. All right, so I did that one. If I look, maybe I shouldn't have done the circle, right? I have x squared, this one, and this one. I can combine. All right, so I'm going to have an x squared plus 3xy minus 8x minus 9y plus 15. All right, so 23G. This is really similar to the last one, so I'll do this one fast just so we kind of see what's going on here. So 3x and 5y, 4x minus 2y plus 3. And let's fill it in. So 3 times 4, so I'm going to have 12x squared minus 6xy plus 9x. And across the bottom, I'm going to have 20xy, negative 10, right? Just do the numbers first, then the variables. Y squared, 15y. So I'm going to look and see here. I have x squared, xy, x. So here, this one and this one can go together. X squared, y squared, x and y. And that's it. So now my final answer for this one, I'm going to have, I'm not going to worry about putting them in a certain order, so we'll just kind of do it the most simple way, right? 12x squared minus 6 and plus 20, so I'm going to have plus 14, right? 20 minus 6 is 14. xy. I did this one, I did this one, I did this one. Plus 9x minus 10y squared plus 15y. So I just went through every single box and listed them out. So again, remember, this is a multiple choice test. So if you get something like this to do, I mean, you probably need to do the box to get the answer. And even if you do all your work and you get that, what I have right there, the answer might be written in a different order. Right? So you have to really look closely and make sure that the signs are all the same and the variable combinations are all the same. It'll probably be written in a way that has like the traditional notation, which you'd have like the highest variable, highest exponents first. So you'd probably have the x squared and the y squared term at the beginning. So just be on the lookout for that. The variables are always in alphabetical order. So if you have like 14yx, I mean, you got to recognize that means the same thing as 14xy. All right, moving on. We got maybe one more of these, and then we'll do a new video for the other stuff. So use one of our 3 methods, rewriting, looking inside, or undoing to solve each equation. Make sure you show your work so we can follow how you solve the problem. So again, multiple choice on the test. You're not going to have to show your work for credit on the test. You do for the study guide, and you have to know how to do it to get the right answer. But let's see right here. So, right, this first one's kind of easy, right? If I look here, this has to be a 6, right? That's that look inside method. 3 times everything that's in there, that has to be a 6. So I know that x minus 7 has to equal 6. And if I add 7 to both sides, right, or just think about, well, what do I have to have if I take away 7 and get a 6, it'd be 13. Right, so that's the look inside method. Right, that's where it's a little bit easier. Than I could distribute and get 3x minus 21, add 21 to both sides and divide by 3, I get the same answer. So understanding which way is going to be easier. Right here, this is probably going to be undoing, right? That's typically what we do. It's like get the x by itself using all the real rules. So here I have to distribute. So I have 6 minus 3x plus 15, right? Don't forget when I distribute this 3, it's a negative 3. I'm distributing all the way through. Equals 7 minus 10x. So all I did was distribute. Now I'm going to combine like terms. This one and this one on the same side, I can just stick them together. 6 and 15 is 21. That's all I do right there. Okay, so I haven't actually done any steps like equally to both sides. All I did was clean up and rewrite the left side in a way that makes it a little bit easier to work with. So now I have to do the undoing. So I'm going to add 10x to this side. Right? I want to get all the x's on one side. The reason I chose to do it that way is because if I add 10 over there, it goes away, and when I add 10 over here, it becomes positive. Right? I'd rather have positive numbers because it makes it easy to deal with. So 7x plus 21 equals 7. Now subtract the 21. They go away. 7x equals 7 minus 21 is negative 14. If I divide both sides by 7, I would get negative 2. Right? 7 times 2 is 14, but it has to be negative. And this is, again, we're going to use kind of our rewriting and then our undoing here for part C. So this is kind of a long one also, so I don't know if I even have enough room to do this one. So I got to distribute this negative 5, and then on this side I have to distribute the negative 2. So let's kind of do that first. So I'm going to have 2x minus 5x minus 20, right, because I'm distributing a negative, equals negative 2x minus 6. All right, so I am just rewriting this. I'm not doing anything to change the value of either side. Right, so 2 minus 5 is negative 3x minus 20 equals negative 2x minus 6. So all I did was distribute everything and then combine the like terms. Now I have to do the undoing. Right? I have to undo the other stuff to get the x's by itself. So all the x's are negative on both sides, so I'm going to have to add. If I add 2 on the right, then the left I'd add 2, it would still be negative. So I'm going to choose to add 3 here, because I know they'll cancel, and when I add 3 here, there's enough positives to make it negative. To make it positive. So 3 minus 2, 1x minus 6 equals negative 20. And then to get the x all by itself, I add the 6. And that leaves me just with the x on this side, which is good. Negative 20 plus 6 is negative 14. All right, so we're almost there. It's a lot of videos, a lot of different concepts. So I'm going to keep them going. We got like 5 more problems, and we'll keep practicing for this exam.